Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me today in the locker room. I'm Alan Locher. Victor Alfieri, who portrayed Franco on Days of Our Lives, Giovanni on The Bold and the Beautiful, and Gianni on Passions, is currently starring in a new romantic comedy, My Secret Billionaire, which is available right now on streaming and cable platforms in the US and Canada, including Amazon, iTunes, Google Play, Vudu, Fandango Now, Vimeo, and across hundreds of cable providers, including Comcast, Spectrum, Charter, Cox, Dish, DirecTV, and so many more. It's also available at your favorite DVD retailer like Amazon and all other major DVD online retailers. It is my pleasure to welcome to the locker room Victor Alfieri. Hey, Victor.
How are you?
I'm well, and yourself? Congratulations on the new movie.
Thank you. Thank you.
How does it feel to play a billionaire?
It feels good, actually. Yeah.
Tell me about the role.
The role is like it was when I first read the screenplay, I was very excited. I really connect to the part that when my character is asked to go to New York for like 30 days with no money. So I connect to that part. I said like, wow, I can play that with no money, you know. But
no money is easier.
That's the easiest part, right? So no, when I first read the screenplay, I was really I really loved it. Actually, it could sound like a cliche line, like money don't make you happy, money
Right.
don't
Doesn't buy you happiness.
love,
Yeah.
But to me, I looked at it in a different perspective. I say like, it is a cliche thing, but at the same time is a good reminder, because you take it for granted. It's like, oh, I know that the money that cannot do this and that, but like it's but we forget about it, and always like especially like I think nowadays everybody is like focused on making money, and we forget what the important things are in life, which is like health, number one, and love, number two, because without health and love there is nothing. And so that's why I liked it. It's very simple movie. It's like, it's not like
It's a perfect romantic comedy. It's
right. It's very subtle, and
yeah.
and I'm proud of it. Really.
Um, and it's your father who in the movie who asks you to go to New York without any money.
Right. To find, because he knew that with all the billions and the toys, the cars, airplanes, and everything, is like you will never find the right wife, basically. But and so go there penniless and see what happens.
And it's funny going. I mean, that's a hard place to go penniless, New York City.
No, it was good. It was good. It was
But I love that because I'm not going to give it away, but you go there penniless, and the people you meet are. I like that we see them again at the end.
Right. No. It's very well done. It's very well done, like when I tell people, it's like what, it's like it's a really, like when I say simple movie, meaning that we don't have special effects, we don't have complicated like plots, but simple and enjoyable, and also it can remind you that money is not everything, basically.
Correct. What was it like filming in New York?
It was a beautiful experience. I have very I mean, every time I think about it, it's like I have beautiful memories of it. And the
Had you
director
shot in New York? Had you shot anything in New York before doing this movie?
No, in New York, I went there like many times for for the soap opera awards,
Yeah.
or for like events, but I never filmed anything. So it was my first time filming in New York and surroundings, and it was beautiful. I love it. Especially, I love New York during May and September, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Is that when were you there during that time, or
I did a screen test for the movie in September, which was a fantastic month, and I thought
yeah,
New York was really beautiful in September. And then we shot the movie. It was I remember it was like mid-May towards July. So it was like
Ooh.
June was getting really hot actually. So
Yeah, July can be awful in New York.
yeah, we were done by June, but I always stayed a little bit over there, and I go back to visit the director once in a while, and it's a really great guy.
Oh, nice. Did you know him before?
No, no, I just met it like during the screen test, and he also wrote the screenplay, and we became friends. He's been a very good friend of mine now, and very very happy to have met him.
And your character is from Italy, right? Am I correct?
Yes,
Y-
the character is like he basically, because this the movie wasn't written for an Italian guy.
Well, that's what I was curious about. Okay,
Right.
yeah.
Sometimes it happens in my career that, because I have an accent, I'm from Italy, obviously.
Really?
I still go in for the audition, and then the producer sees something in me, and they say, okay, well, maybe we can rewrite it and make it Italian, or the guy immigrated from Italy and came to America, and so that's beautiful. So this character was written for an American, and then I went in, I did the audition, and then the screen test, and producer director allowed me to play, so he rewrote it.
That's awesome. It works well that way. And speaking of Italy, I know your mom's watching, so hi, mom.
Ciao,
um,
mamma.
tell me what growing up in Rome was like.
And it was I spent like like 20, almost 23 years in Rome, because then I moved here when I was 23. It was good. I love Rome. I love Rome. And I grew up with my mom, my grandmother, my aunt, and I was surrounded by women basically.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, your mom was a single mom, right?
yes, yes, yes. So, but I had a lot of love, because in the family we had my grandfather that unfortunately passed away when I was almost 16, and then I grew up with the women. But also, when my grandfather was alive, he was like really busy working at the restaurant, and so he was there, but I spend the majority of my time with my grandmother, my mom, and my aunt. So my mom's sister. So the three women in my life.
And did you worked at the restaurant, right?
I did on and off, summertime, almost every summer, and since I was a little kid, and I loved it. I loved the restaurant business.
What did you do?
I did everything from cutting potatoes, tomatoes, making the dough with my grandmother, washing dishes, serving the tables, being a waiter. I mean, you name it.
Wow.
Yeah,
So are you a good cook today?
I do cook pretty well. Yes,
That's great.
I love cooking. Yeah.
That's amazing. I forgot to ask you about the movie. Talk about your co-stars, and I hope I pronounce her name right. Ione Skye
Ione Skye,
and
yeah, she's a
and
wonderful lady, yeah.
and Adrian herself, Talia Shire.
Oh yeah, Talia Shire, yeah. We got both of them good ladies. Yeah, very talented, and I was blessed because I followed their careers for many years, and then to have a chance to play with them, opposite them, and it was a dream come true. It's like we have a great cast in the movie,
Yeah.
and yeah, sweethearts, both of them, and. Me and Talia, we're still in contact. We always like texting each other, and
I
so
love that.
it's a great
There,
movie. Yeah.
there's a woman who I worked with on Guiding Light, Ivana Kopach Wright, who's one of Iona's colleagues
I
at
worked
her.
with her. She was on Days of Our Lives when I first
Yes,
joined
yes, she
in
was. You're right.
90. Okay, so I was there in 95, 96. She was there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I worked with her.
Yeah,
Actually.
yeah.
I remember her. Yeah.
Oh wow, totally forgot that was her. That was her first role, Days of Our Lives. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that was her first role. Yeah. And then we
Crit.
also had another soap opera actress. Forgot her name right now. It just she was on All My Children, and
Oh yeah. I
what's
because
her name?
she was on my show last week, Melissa Claire
Oh
Egan.
yes, yes.
But I didn't recognize her in the movie. Where was she?
She
Because
was
she
at the bar scene.
oh who you yes that's why she looked familiar to me. Oh
Yeah,
my god. Oh my
yeah.
god,
Because
that's
I also did a little bit of All My Children, so I pretty
right.
much
Yes,
basically covered all the
that's
soap operas
so
right in
funny
there.
though because wow, I totally I was looking at her and that's a great scene. I love that
Right,
scene
right, right,
too.
right. Yeah, yeah. That's
That's a
really
great scene.
really funny scene.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
She's very funny. She's very funny. I had a good time talking to her last week.
Yeah. No, no.
Wow, that's so
She's
funny.
a sweetheart.
So
Yeah.
so how did modeling begin for you?
Modeling, like I know is written modeling is written on my resume but I really, I mean, I did, but I didn't. Like I
Oh,
did
okay.
a little bit. I always like I don't put it down. I mean, if tomorrow they offer me like a modeling contract, I wouldn't put it down. But like, well, I never really liked it.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Because
It's
I
not for everybody. It's not
no,
for
it's not for
everybody.
everybody. I mean, and I have a lot of respects for models because like being in front of the camera and not like they know models, real models. They know how to express and send messages or with their looks, with their expressions. But I cannot do it. I have to move around. I have to be alive. So I have to it's like that's the Italian in me. I gotta touch things.
Yeah,
I gotta
you
move
need to
my
use your
hands.
hands.
And
You need to use your
so
hands.
so I did a little bit like when I was working at my grandfather's restaurant. There was a production of Italian magazine, and their headquarters was just above my grandfather's restaurant, and so the producers would come down and have lunch, and they spotted me when I was a little kid. I was like what 15 probably, or 16, and they say like, oh man, you could be in our covers because you got something. And so they put me in several covers for a few
Wow.
years. Yeah. So that was my modeling, and then I joined the police force actually when I was 18. And yeah, so
What was that like?
it was good. I liked it. I liked it. I mean, everything. I feel like I know everything's going on right now in the U.S. at least, and I'm not speaking for the entire world, right? But I think in every job you have bad apples, right?
Correct.
So I did it because I wanted to help people and I wanted to
Hmm.
be a good cop, and I know a lot of them are good cops. I'm not gonna pretend they're like, oh, they're all bad. No, but unfortunately, there are bad cops, and we have to deal with it.
Hmm.
And that's all it matters. But at the end of the day, we have to also trust the good cops because when something happens, you want to call somebody. I mean, like I don't know if you see my room is full of toys and superheroes, but they
I
really don't
do.
exist in real
We're
life.
gonna get to that
They don't
too.
really exist in real life. So I tell people it's like, what, it's very unfortunate what we're going through, but we have a justice systems and system that is going to take care of things. But at the same time, when something happens, I'm not going to call Spider-Man or Superman because they don't exist. So I call 911, right?
Yeah, they're not going to save you. Is it
Yeah.
hard training? I don't. Is it? I don't know the difference in the United States or in Italy, but would you
Yeah,
consider that?
there is a training. I mean, of course. I mean, there is a training, but at the same time, is who you are, as a human
Hmm.
being, and what you can do with it. And like I said, if you do it for the right reason, is a good job because you're helping people. And
Hmm.
but unfortunately, a lot of I'm saying like a small percentage is out there just for the power trip, and that's bad. That's when it becomes dangerous. But I did it really to help people, and I loved it. I was very happy to be able to help people.
That's great. That's really,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's not an easy. I can't imagine. It's not, and especially now, if you know, it is not an easy job.
No,
People,
no.
it is not an easy job. So, who or what influenced you on becoming an actor?
Okay, so since I was in probably junior high, I always I I developed this kind of like talent for writing, and I started like when I was about like probably 12 or 13. I started writing little stories, right? And one of my stories was so good that the teacher, I still remember her name, she I'm not gonna mention the name, right? But she kind of like she kind of like in front of the whole class. I remember she called me up next to her desk, and then she said, "Victor, your story was so beautiful, but it's not original. I'm sure you copy it from somewhere because you cannot write this kind of stuff material." And then she just like trashed the paper, and that was it. I was in tears. Yeah, because I wrote that, I created that, and so like I kind of like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna write stories, because I have talent for it, and so I wanted to become a writer, actually, not an actor.
Hmm.
And when I moved here in Los Angeles, in California, I wanted to pursue also like a writing career, and but I just fell into acting.
Hmm.
And I got my first break on a commercial because I needed money just to eat, to survive, right, to stay here in Los Angeles. And I was like, okay, well, I cannot speak English because I didn't speak any English. I was like doing the usual busboy jobs, and working for moving a moving company, moving furnitures, and
Yeah.
anything I could do, right. And my first actually, when I was cleaning tables at Cafe Roma in Beverly Hills. I don't know if you ever been to Cafe Roma, but it's like an iconic place. An old lady, like, she spotted me, and she goes like, "Oh my gosh, your face, you look like Tyrone Power." I remember that. And she was friends with Tyrone Power's ex-wife. And so they hooked me up with an agency, but I couldn't speak any English. So I had a friend of mine translating for me the whole time. It's like, what is this lady want from me? And so they sent me out. It's like, just do this audition. It's you don't have to speak, but it's not a modeling audition, thank God. So you have to just, it's body movements and everything. It was for Miller Beer, and I booked it, right. My first audition, I booked it, and that's how I started.
So that's pretty brave of you to leave Rome, fly to the U.S. without speaking the language. I didn't realize you moved here not speaking English,
Yeah,
but you were coming here to write, not to act.
right. And I was really like, in life you also have to have luck, I think, right? So you create your own luck, because if I didn't book that ticket, if I didn't leave the police force, I mean, luck wouldn't happen, right? So you have to
Yeah.
create your own luck, but also you have to be lucky at the same time. You have to, it's kind of like, it's a weird concept, but
Yeah.
it's kind of like winning the lottery. If you don't buy the ticket, you will never win the lottery. So you kind of like have to create it a little bit, right? So you have to help the luck coming your way. And I yeah I yeah I did it.
How long after you arrived did you start to learn English?
I studied English in school. I was really bad, actually. So my
You
friends out
mean
there
school in Italy or
in
school when
Italy,
you
in
got
Italy, yeah,
in
yeah,
Italy?
yeah. I didn't like the English part. I mean, I spoke better French because it's a Latin language, right? So it's like it was easier. But English, it was brutal, man. I was like, oh my god. But so well, I had the basic English, right? So
Right.
like when I came over here, I could say like, "Where is the restroom?" uh, but and my friends out there
The
can vouch for
important
me.
things, the important questions.
Right. I mean, my friends out there can vouch for me because I was really bad in English. But yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
So your first paying sort of acting job was the commercial.
right, exactly. Yeah, it was
Well,
a
and for not a small brand at all.
no Miller Beer is kind of like a big
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Especially
pretty
back in the
good.
'90s. Yeah, and so yeah, and thanks to that, because I was on a tourist visa, and thanks to that, that tourist visa transferred into a modeling visa, and that's why my resume is like modeling, and then thanks to that, I had a 3 years modeling visa, and thanks to that, that modeling visa turned into a green card because I booked in those 3 years. I booked so many jobs, and my first big job was Days of Our
Days of
Lives.
Our Lives. Yeah.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
did that come? How did Days come about?
Well, I before Days of Our Lives, I started booking small roles here and there. I did Murder She Wrote with Angela Lansbury. I did a movie of the week with
I assume you knew who she was.
yeah,
Was that
because it's the TV series
show?
is huge in Italy. Yeah,
Italy, yeah.
yeah.
Was that
Uh,
amazing for you at that point in your
oh,
life?
it was. I was shooting, like, I remember, like, I was shooting at Universal Studios, and I went to Universal Studios as a tourist, right? Because that's the first thing I wanted to visit was Universal Studios. Like
We
all the
all do.
magic, Back to the Future and all the and going
that
up
that
the
that happens whether you're from Rome or from the United States. We
right,
all do.
right,
We all want to see Universal.
and so when I booked that role, it was like I was entering Universal Studios as an actor. It's like
Yeah,
it was amazing, and we shot on the lot with the tourists, with the bus like going through, and the security guards like stopping the bus because we were filming. I felt like wow, like I was here like last month as a tourist. And
That's pretty.
so after that, and then I booked a movie of the week with Beverly D'Angelo, and little roles here and there, and then it came Fran Bascom. Uh, may she rest in peace. It's like very close to my heart. It was the casting director of Days of Our Lives, and by the way, she was Italian, and she spoke Italian, and so she
That
called.
helps.
Well, no, hold on. That's the tricky part. So I went in for an audition in '95. A character. The character was Jose. It wasn't Franco Kelly. It was Jose.
Okay.
He was a fisherman, and so I did the audition, and the audition wasn't actually the size that they gave me. It was the size for another role, for a lawyer. Right, so can you imagine, with my accent, my English at that time in '95, playing a lawyer, right?
Right.
But I was so passionate about it that she saw something in me, and then after that, then she gave me directions in English, and of course, and then after, I was going crazy because it's like, oh my gosh, what is she saying now? Okay, I have to do it this way, that way, and then after all that, like 1 hour of torture, right? She started speaking in Italian, and I goes, what? And of course, like her Italian, she was a second generation Italian, I think. So like she was American, but her Italian was like, it was good enough. I mean, she could carry a conversation, and I was like, wow, you speak Italian? And she goes, yeah, my name is Fran Basco, but my real name is Francesca. It's like, wow. And but she says, like, you know what, like, you got something, and I'm gonna give you this role. Like, so it was 5 episodes, and I played Jose, and that was my first appearance on Days of Our Lives. And then later on, she called me for a contract role, which was I think it, and again, the role was Jason Kelly, and then she brought me in with the producers. It was like 2 weeks of testing, and I think I did one selection, second, third, four selections, and then the screen test with NBC Colombia.
Did
And
you screen test with Christian or Allison?
with Christian Alfonso, yeah. And
Wow.
and
It's
then
so interesting, Victor, because there's so many actors since I started this show from daytime who have all sort of started like you did, where the casting director gave them a little something,
Right.
and then they were given a contract role later.
Right.
It's really amazing the
Yeah,
amount
it's
of
crazy, yeah.
amount of actors who started in a smaller role before they got their bigger
Right.
role.
I mean, it's she gave me that great opportunity. She brought me like she brought me there because like I said, the character was like Jason, I think it was Jason or Adam Kelly, and it was totally American, and so it was a fish out of water, and I passed the first selection, the second selection, the third selection, and then it came down to 10 of us, and then I got it. Yeah. And
Wow.
they changed the name to Franco Kelly because
Did you know American soap operas at that time?
I did because growing up, my family used to watch, I think, Guiding Light back in Italy.
Sentieri.
Sentieri, yes.
Sentieri, yes.
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 That's so funny. Yes. Yep. Wow. It's
Yep.
still, when I have Guiding Light people on, the Italians are all tuning in because they still love it from when they watched it. It was really big there.
Yeah, it was huge. Yeah. I was a little kid. I was like about 12 or 13, and I remember Kevin Bacon actually was there at that time.
Yeah.
In the 80s, and I remember. Yeah, it was huge. Yeah.
What did Days of Our Lives teach you? It must have been an incredible schooling opportunity that early in your career.
Yeah, because like I said, I was acting here and there, but small roles. Never took an acting class, and it was just raw talent, right? And so yeah, it taught me a lot. It taught me everything. It taught me also English because reading and memorizing the screenplays, I would acquire new vocabulary every day, and also see the spelling, right? Because you have to read the screenplay and then you have to memorize, and so work on my accent a little bit, like because my accent was like terrible, was like really strong at the beginning. Yeah. I still tell now, but
it's very interesting that you being the actor in front of the camera telling me that you learned sort of to speak English, because like my mother was from Holland. She learned to speak English watching As the World Turns and Guiding Light here in America. Many people learn watching the soap. So it's funny that it's the same way. And you worked a lot with Christian and Allison, right? Those were your loves on the show?
Yeah, the first year and a half was like Christian Alfonso. It was like my storyline was between me, Hope, and Bo. So like it's the triangle, right?
The triangle, yeah.
So Franco got in the middle of it, and his intent was like to take Hope from Bo. Like
that's a pretty good luck too.
Yeah, because it was a major storyline, and like from what I understood, because I never watched Days of Our Lives before.
Right.
Days of Our Lives was not in. I think he aired in Italy in the 80s too. I forgot the name of it, but my family was not into it, so I wasn't familiar with Days of Our Lives at all. But for what I understood when I first joined, that Bo and Hope was like this super couple, very famous, and so and again, luck,
Right. I mean, to be thrown into the middle of a super couple as your first thing is an amazing opportunity to Do you have a favorite storyline in your time with Days?
The what? I'm sorry, say it again.
A favorite storyline.
A favorite storyline with Days of Our Lives. Not really. They were all good. I mean, it was so much. Like I remember, like the like so much. One time, I remember that Christian Alfonso booked a movie of the week, and so she had to leave for like I think like 3 weeks. Okay, so the show wanted to filmed all her scenes for 3 weeks in advance, and they wanted to do it in 5 days. So in 5 days, I remember I don't know, but I remember it was 200, just mine, because, like the screenplay is 1 hour show, right? So the screenplay is like 100 pages. And out of, I got all this stock of screenplays, is like, they were like 25 maybe. Okay. 25
Hmm.
like screenplays. And I got 250 pages to memorize and perform it in 5 days. And
Did that scare the shit out of you?
yes, yes, a lot, a lot. And I said to myself, and that was like almost at the beginning. It was like after like maybe 6 or 7 months that I joined
Wow.
the show. And then I said to myself, if this is a test, and if I pass this test, I'm good. And I did it. So I memorized 250 pages. We did like 25 shows in 5 days, and she went on to do
Wow.
her movie, and everything was pre-recorded, and because soap operas is on every day, right? So there is no,
Yeah.
so we have no other choice. So yeah, that was my memory. Here we go.
Well, that is a great training. You can't
Right,
really,
right.
you know,
Yeah,
that's really incredible. And you've worked in some incredible movies, Angels and Demons with Tom Hanks,
yeah,
opposite Helen Mirren and Anne Bancroft. And you worked with the late Chadwick Boseman. What was he like?
yeah. He was a great guy. He was a great guy. I have good memories about him. Yeah, yeah. Great, great.
I just saw that movie he did on Netflix.
I,
Amazing perform. Ma Rainey.
oh, I haven't seen it yet.
What
Yeah, because
an amazing performance.
yeah, to me it's like it's yeah, it's still like I'm still like shocked by it. So I don't know if I can watch it. In 2009, I after I finished like Angels and Demons, I auditioned for this TV series, Persons Unknown, and I'm sorry, and it was a huge production, 20th Century Fox, and I went in for the audition, and then apparently I didn't book it, right? And then, like around Christmas time, my manager called me up and say, "Where are you, Victor?" It's like, "I'm having a coffee at the Coffee Bean here." And he goes, "Okay, hold on." And then he came to the Coffee Bean. I remember he's like, "Hey, they want you. 20th Century Fox wants you to play the role because they want an authentic Italian guy, and so they fired the American one, and they want you." It's like, whoa! I thought I didn't book it. It's like, no, 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 they want you. So you're flying in a week. You're going to Mexico City to start filming Persons Unknown, and so that's where I met Chadwick, and that was his first big gig. He
Wow.
was just starting out. He just did like I think he just did like little short films before, and that was his first major, you know, b- breakout role. I mean, and he was a very, very good, very nice guy, very nice guy. Yeah.
Mm.
So
And Angels and Demons, was that filmed in Italy?
that was filmed in Italy, yes, in Rome. So I was there for about a month, and then also they resumed production here at Sony Studios, and for the interiors, because the Vatican did not give permission to Sony to film inside the Vatican, inside the churches. So only the exteriors in Italy, and the interiors they recreated everything. It was amazing in the studio. Yeah.
Yeah, for you, it must have been amazing to see how they, an art department.
Oh,
What was it like going to Rome for you to film?
well, it was so let me tell you this. So it was a dream come true, right? But
Yeah.
this dream happened like 3 times so far with the American productions. Then I did also movies and TV series in Italy. But as far as American productions, like the first one that brought me back home after like I think 3 years, that I was like, because I was working on Days of Our Lives, and so I didn't go home for like 3 years. It was The Bold and Beautiful, Bradley Bell, which that's always a splendid memory for me, like very good memory. That he said, "Hey, in December we're going to shoot Bold and Beautiful in Venice," And I thought that he meant like Venice Beach right here. So,
Right, around the corner.
and I was like, but I don't surf. And he goes like, no, we're going to Venice, Italy. It's like, what? And that was amazing. That was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. And so the second time was for the Roman Spring of Mrs. Stone with Helen Mirren and Anne Bancroft. And so we shot it in Rome, and that was another amazing experience.
What were they like?
Oh my gosh, like okay, first of all, I'm a huge fan of both ladies, but for me, Anne Bancroft, of course, it was an icon, and she was a terrific lady. I mean, very down to earth. And I met, I went over dinner one night with her, the director, and also Mel Brooks was there, and and to me, just
Did you pinch yourself for Mel Brooks? Because that's pretty good too.
Oh my! I grew up with these movies. I mean, literally, I was always imitating with my classmates. Young Frankenstein or Blazing Saddles. I mean, I grew up with these movies, and Mel Brooks was right there, right in front of me, having dinner with me. Hey, Mel, pass me the salt. But yeah, it was. I was like, wow, and yeah, it was beautiful, and I have to act with both of them, with Anne Bancroft and Helen Mirren, and I remember like
the Queen.
Yeah, the Queen. The Queen. Now, literally, the Queen, right? You won the Oscar for it, right?
Right. Yeah.
And I remember like my scene with Helen. I had a monologue, and I was preparing this monologue and everything, and then I didn't have any pressure on me, right, to perform, with Helen Mirren until a friend of mine the night before, I think the filming of the scene, like, told me like, aren't you scared to work opposite Helen Mirren tomorrow? I mean, she got nominated so many times for the Oscars. She didn't win an Oscar at that time. It's like, but she was nominated every year, right? And it's like she won this and she won that and this and this. Like, hey, can you just stop? Like, I don't even think about it.
Right.
To me, it's like, it's another human being, another fellow actor. It's like, no, she's Helen Mirren, Victor. Oh my God. So I went in the next day feeling a little pressure now. And
don't invite that friend anymore.
Right. And then I remember like before the scene began, like Helen looked at me and she goes like, she was very nice. We met before.
Yeah.
So we we met before. We went to dinner. Like I said, it was Anne Bancroft, Mel Brooks, the director, Helen, and but before filming the scene, she looked at me and she goes like, "Good luck, Victor." I was like, "What?" It's like, is that a boxing match? What do you mean, good luck? Good luck for what? But it went well. It went well, and yeah. So that was my second time, my second experience with, and I think it was either 20th Century Fox or Warner Brothers. And then the third time was like Angels and Demons with Tom Hanks. Really nice guy, down to earth. I mean, I've been really lucky actually with working with actors. So far, like
some pretty
I was
iconic
lucky.
Actors.
Yes.
I mean, you don't get more iconic than Adrian as well, Talia Shire.
Yeah.
I assume you had seen Rocky.
Oh yeah, huge fan. Yeah. Like it's I've been blessed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then Bold and the Beautiful. Who did you work with on Bold and the Beautiful? Who were your
with everyone? My storyline was this fashion photographer Giovanni Lorenzano, and it's funny because
not Italian at all.
Not Italian at all. I think he was Irish.
Yeah, exactly.
In fact, it's pronounced Giovanni Lorenzano. It's funny that this fashion photographer actually was was kissing women left and right. And the only thing that didn't do was taking pictures. It's like, where is the photography part in this role? But I don't know. But no, he did take some photos, like maybe in 2 episodes out of 100. But
Right.
but it was always smooching, right? So I played opposite, like Kelly Lang and Ashley Cafagna. Was playing Kimberly at that time, and no, it was great. It was great.
And
I love The Bold and Beautiful. Yeah,
pretty good to go to Italy with it.
Yeah, I went to Italy with it, and in fact, and then I left the show, and then they called me back. I think in 2001, in 2003, and then the last time they called me back, it was in 2009, I think, and to really take pictures, actually. So,
this time to really,
right. And that was great. I liked The Bold and Beautiful. It was fun. It was short, 1.5 hours, so there's not a lot of
right.
Because you have to understand, like a lot of people in the industry, they kind of like look down at soap opera actors a little bit. I did like 4 soaps, so I know I'm not just making this up.
No,
they have like this idea, oh, it's a soap opera actor. It's like, yeah, but it's not easy. So I have a lot of respect for myself.
There are many of the actors. There are many actors you worked with, Victor, who I'm sure could not do it.
Right. No, it's a difficult task, and I have a lot of respect for soap opera actors, actually. And I say that's the best training. And also, it's really difficult. I mean, if you look at the amount of work and the time to deliver this work is like so minimal. I mean, when you do a movie, you have maybe 30. I mean, Angels and Demons. To do that movie is like 200 pages, right? We did it like in what, 4 or 5 months? Okay. Days of Our Lives, I told you, in 5 days, 250 pages. 5 days. So, of course, our performance has to be like, it can be excellent, because, we don't have time. And so you have to be good. And you have to be good and quick,
well, you have to learn your lines one day, toss them out and learn them,
right.
Another.
Right.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Like I that's the best training. And a lot of good actors came out of soaps. I mean, because of that. Yeah.
I mean, you said it earlier: Kevin Bacon, Julianne Moore, Steven Weber.
Oh, yeah. Even like the other guy that I met, and I'm still kind of like, I ran into him like a few months ago. Before the pandemic. Frank Grillo.
Grillo, I worked with Frank on Guiding Light. Right. I worked with him on Guiding Light.
Yeah, so he used to work out with me at Gold's Gym in Hollywood. And he used to be a trainer over there, and he's a really nice guy. And then I ran into him during the soap opera days. I was on Days of Our Lives. He was on Guiding Light. And, he's like Frank Grillo. He's not Irish.
Yeah.
So we relate to that. And it's great success. Successful guy, good guy.
Yeah, he's really been working nonstop lately. It's crazy.
Yeah. God bless him. And
I agree.
At the sushi restaurant before the pandemic, and they looked at me. He's like, Victor, and it's like, Frank. And it was like, wow, you haven't changed, Victor. It's like, well, all right, well, I'd rather have your career and change.
yeah, luck or something, but he's a talented guy.
Yeah.
Out of all your roles, is there a favorite so far?
I love them all. It's like every time I act, I try to go deep into the character, and so I love them all. But so far, project wise, My Secret Billionaire, because I love the experience of it, and I hold great memories since the screen test, actually. So my memories go back to that September that I did the screen test and the filming of the movie. And also, like, I'm an Italian movie that I did, I think in 2013 or 14, called The Stalker, which it was great film. And so far those two I really love those
Well,
soaps.
My Secret Billionaire is your movie too.
Right.
That's a good feeling.
Yes.
I mean,
So
you're the secret billionaire.
I'm the secret billionaire, right?
So that's a good thing. That's a really good thing.
Right.
How long did you do All My Children for? Was that a short gig?
Yeah, it was a short gig. It was like like few episodes. I don't know if it were like 6 or 7 or 10. I don't know. Like, yeah,
And
2
what'd
weeks.
you do? You played Ciro, right?
I think it was a photographer again.
Yeah. You must be good.
I think it was a photographer. Yeah. It was a fashion photographer again. And yeah, I was there, and then I don't know why it didn't work out, because I think I had another project, so I went in there and I went out. And
Was this when they were in California, or
yes, correct. Yeah.
when they moved to
They were in
California?
California. Yeah. Because I had to leave some soaps for other projects. I never turned a soap opera down. So after
That's
Days of Our
good.
Lives, Bold and Beautiful, then they offered me Passion, right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I had other. I always say yes. I'm not gonna play like, oh no, I'm not gonna do soaps and no more. I always say yes, 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 yes. So if they
Was
call me
was
tomorrow, I will say yes again. I mean,
was Passions fun?
it was Passion. It was fun, but there was a lot of there was something like it was fun, but there was like I don't know how to describe it. There was like a lot of energy, because it was a new soap and they were trying to prove themselves, and so there was a lot of energy on the set. Like everything have to be like perfect, and that kind of energy can hurt you sometimes, because you feel the pressure, and then you don't perform good, because like it's like you have to be. I think you have to relax, and just
Like
that's the
too
key of
much
success. The
too
key of
much
success,
nervous energy?
right? That kind of nervous energy. Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't want to say that, but you said that, so you're gonna take the
Yeah.
bait. Yes, correct. And I think the key of success in life is just to relax and and see what happens.
What did you learn about yourself during the pandemic that you might not have known before?
Well, again, I didn't learn anything new, but again, the pandemic probably was a reminder. Again, like My Secret Billionaire is like, we don't learn anything new, but it's a reminder that seeing your loved ones is very important, and we shouldn't take it
Hmm.
for granted.
Yeah.
And that's number one. And number two is like keep healthy. Health is very important, and health is something that money definitely cannot buy.
Right.
I'm telling you.
That's
It's
for
like
sure.
I heard a lot of stories. Oh, the guy survived because he has money. No. It's
Yeah.
like, no, doesn't
And,
work
and
that way.
and that's why
Cancer.
your mom's watching today, because she hasn't seen your face in person.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. You see, like, all these bad diseases, they don't look at your bank accounts. I'm telling you. The cancer is not gonna go there and say like, oh, he's a famous actor, he has money. No, I'm gonna go with the poor one. No,
And you can't take that money with you.
no, no.
It
So
doesn't do anything in those places.
yeah, so
It-
basically that's again, it's like it's a reminder, and so yeah, we have to be very careful, and we gotta keep healthy, and also love each other, one another. I mean,
yeah.
don't forget your true friends, don't forget your family, don't take it for
Hmm.
granted, because tomorrow they're not gonna be here.
Really smart. Really smart. You directed a short film, right, in an ancient city outside of Rome?
I directed a feature film,
Oh,
uh,
okay.
and also two short films. Yeah. I produced and direct, yeah, like two short films and one feature film. Yeah.
And did you always want to direct, or where did that come from?
I kind of like because I also wrote the screenplays, and I couldn't find the right director for it. And
Okay.
in one occasion, I didn't have the money to pay for a director, so I said, you know what, like I can do this, and I think I did a good job.
That's great.
nothing like, Oscar nominee, but I did it. I finished the movie, so that's an accomplishment.
Absolutely. Do you want to do more?
Yeah, I mean, if I have the opportunity, and why not? Yeah, something that I like. I'm good at it.
Well, and you've been writing, you said, since you were really young. So do you have a lot of things?
I have a lot of screenplays. I have a lot of material. Yes, that's yeah. I'm just waiting for the right moment right now, like when everything is gonna go back to kind of normal. Like
Hmm.
then I'm gonna start like pushing them. Yeah.
So out of that pile of scripts, is there a favorite one that you would love to get made?
Yes, there are like a few actually. There is a romantic comedy that takes place in it's over here in America and in Rome, and then also there is a few. Yeah, there is a boxing one, but it's
Mm.
about a little kid. It's not like an adult boxer, but he's a little kid boxer, and that's one of my favorite too. It's like a really touching story. And what else? And that's well, yeah, I like also the horror genre. So there is like
Mm.
a vampire kind of movie that I would like to make. Yeah. And actually I was
They're popular, those vampire.
yeah, I was like talking to my friend Sean, which from Young and Restless, and Sean Cannon, and
Yeah,
we're about to make that one, actually, the vampire one,
that's great.
and we were shooting in Rome, in Italy. But then the pandemic came along and everything,
Shut down. Do
yeah. So
you are you a fan of vampire shows or
I, I
movies?
I didn't watch a lot of shows, but movies, yes, yes. I like that genre. Yeah, yeah.
And
And it's kind of
did
yeah.
you
Go
ever
ahead.
study writing?
No, no, never.
You just so how young were you when you started? I mean,
I
your school where that teacher said that. What grade were you in?
I was 12, so I don't know. It's like in because I know the American school system is different from the Italian one. So I
Right,
was
but you were
12.
12.
I was in Italy. It would be junior high, I think. So, but
Yeah,
yeah,
here 12 is junior high here too.
right.
Um, Good thing she didn't really stop you from continuing to write.
Well, she did
Be-
kind of traumatize me a bit. I mean, that was like for a little kid to have his paper trashed in front of the class. It was like traumatizing. And then she told me that in front of everyone that I copied that it was not original, and she asked specifically to write a story out of your imagination, right? And I did.
wow.
And yeah, yeah. So it was. I still remember that like vividly. I mean, I remember that was a big impact, and yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So sometimes I really think like so I can see how teachers can influence like children. So
Yeah.
it could be a good thing, and also it could be a bad thing. But
Yeah.
I was lucky that I continue. I didn't stop, and I say like after a few months, I was like, that's my passion. I start, it's not something that I didn't force myself to go back and write. It flowed naturally, like so. I
Do
didn't.
you have a process? Like, do you do it late at night or just
I
whenever
do
it
it.
comes?
Yeah, yeah. You're right. Actually, I don't have a process, but it usually happens late at night.
Hmm.
It does. and
Okay.
uh and sometimes when I start, I continue for days and weeks until I finish it, and then it becomes like an every moment process. Like it could be I wake up early in the morning and it's like, oh my gosh, okay, I gotta write this down, and or late at night, and yeah.
So that's great. And you and Sean are going to start this when the pandemic's over?
Hopefully everything is gonna click again, because like to produce a movie is not that simple. Yeah, you
Yeah.
need the investors, you need people that believes in the screenplay, and you need maybe a distribution attached. So I have to put all the elements back together. but
You need
hopefully,
you need a secret billionaire.
I need a secret billionaire, somebody that believes in me and my projects. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Let's talk about the stormtroopers behind you and this collection.
Oh, that one.
I can see the stormtroopers right there.
Oh, those are the helmets. Yeah, yeah. I do
Yeah.
collect. I do
W-
collect a lot of toys. Yeah.
where did
That's
that
my
start
passion.
from?
The what?
Where did that begin? How did you start?
I always love like toys since I was a little kid. So a lot of these toys I brought it from Italy. Yeah,
Wow.
believe it or not, I mean, this is like a true story. I'm not making this up because it's like it sounds ridiculous, but when I packed my bags when I was 23, I also packed some toys. I'm not kidding you. Yeah.
Well, you needed a little bit of home with you.
Yeah, I think, because they they give me joy, they give me memories, and so memories like joyful memories. And I remember of these toys, the few of these toys were like in my grandmother's beach house, and that house reminds me of my grandmother that passed away, my grandfather that passed away. So like it's there with me, and I remember playing with these toys in that house, and so it's all connected, and
You better have an alarm on that room because I see the Superman thing behind you up on the wall.
yeah.
I can see
I don't
that.
know. I don't know how. I would like to show you, but I don't
Yeah,
know
no,
how
that's
can I flip the camera. If I touch something, we get disconnected. Is your fault. Let me.
Let's see. That might have worked. I don't know if that worked, Victor. No, I don't think it
No,
works.
nothing.
I don't think it works. I mean,
But
that's a pretty big move though, too,
yeah, see, I don't know if you can see like
Oh yeah.
that's
Wow.
yeah,
Oh, those are like lifelike stormtroopers and Darth Vader.
yeah. That's those all. These are like my toys from.
So if you had your dream
Mhm.
part in a superhero franchise.
Well, so let me tell you this. It's like I would have loved to play a superhero or something, but there are no Italian superheroes. I'm sorry. Maybe a character that shoots spaghetti. I don't know, but unfortunately, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, but you have Superman and Star Wars. If you could pick your favorite,
Oh, okay.
which one would you be in?
I would pick Star Wars. I'm a huge fan since the '70s. So, but
Me too.
the thing is like it's funny because they're talking about equality and putting every ethnicities in movies by Italians. They're not considered, man. It's like Marvel. They created all these characters, and we have the Spanish superhero, we have the Mexican superhero, we have the guy from Colombia. But where's the Italian one?
Well, it's leaving it wide open for you to write it.
I know. Where's Arturo, man? Where is he? Where is he? Right?
Well, I mean, taking that with you just makes sense. I mean, you made a huge move from Rome.
Yeah.
Did you know people when you arrived?
No, I didn't know anybody except I had one distant cousin here, and also my good friend was here. But as far as like real connection, no. So I was basically like, I had these two people, but they were like 24/7 with me, So I was basically
Right.
alone, and and that's the other part that I relate with the movie, My Secret Billionaire, because I was alone on the streets of LA. Seriously, at one point in time, I even slept in my little Fiat because I bought a Fiat and I didn't have a place to stay, so I slept in the car. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
it's okay.
good.
Everything is possible in life. If you
Yeah.
really want it, then you have to make some sacrifices, and things will get better.
And you have to make it happen. And you made it happen for
You
yourself.
have to make it happen. If you don't work for it, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, you made it happen. Well, it's a pleasure to talk to you, Victor. My
Pleasure.
Secret Billionaire is out now. Everybody go check it out. Have a great day. And, come back when I want to talk when you have another project.
Yeah, sure. All right.
Pleasure to meet you, Victor. Bye. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to check out My Secret Billionaire, available on all streaming platforms. Like I mentioned, iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, Vudu, and from your favorite DVD online retailer. And don't forget, the Locker Room is partnering with SoapCon Live to bring your favorite daytime stars to your living room with free live panels starting May 1st. Check out soapconlive.com for the complete schedule for the As the World Turns, the Doctors, General Hospital, and One Life to Live panels. There's virtual meet and greets, autographed headshots, and video messages you can purchase from your favorite daytime stars. Have a great day, everybody. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, you can do so right below, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.